Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. It's been a long time because this little guy right here. So this is Theodore William, and he was born the day after Christmas. So he was our special Christmas present, and I'm going to make this into a two-part video. This first part, I'm just going to talk about his story, my labor and delivery, and then the next part will be the things that I actually used in my hospital bag. So this first video is going to be all about baby Theo. I have 3 other children. Gabrielle is 6, Everett is 4, and Alexandria is 2. Sometime last fall, I just really started wanting one more to just kind of round out our family, especially one more little boy for Everett to have a brother. And so I began praying for a little boy, and my husband was not on board with it at all. So it really just felt like asking God for something I did not think was going to happen. I can see you. But somehow God turned his heart around and he became open to the idea of one more. Last April, we found out I was expecting again. With Gabrielle, we found out. With Everett, we did not. So we didn't know it was a boy until he was born.
It's a boy!
And then with Zandy, we found out. With 1, 2, 3. With him, I just thought, I'm so nervous. I prayed specifically for a son. Of course, we will be so grateful if it's another precious little daughter to raise, but I just did not want to feel even a little bit of disappointment. So we found out with him. And oh my goodness, I went and did got the anatomy scan, but I didn't look at the results. I gave that to Daniel because he's not as into surprises as I am. So he's like, let me do it, and then I'll surprise you and the kids. So I went and got the ultrasound today and gave the envelope to Daniel. So he's the one who knows. He's about to tell us. And I'm dying. I've been waiting all day and my heart is just going. I'm so curious. He's here. Okay, we're gonna go find out. And I could not believe it when we found out it was a little boy.
Okay.
Okay, whatever God has given us, we'll be thankful for, okay? God knows what we need.
It's a boy!
I just felt like just such a specific answer to prayer that I had asked God for a little boy, and look what we have. Just so blessed. Take that into the playroom. Be careful, don't fall. She just fell, so she's gonna hang out with me for a little bit. Okay, so we found out we were expecting right when I was about to run a marathon, so I was so nervous. I get very sick from my pregnancies, and right about the 6-week mark is when it starts, and my marathon was like right at 6 weeks. So I was so nervous I wouldn't be able to do it after all that training, but thankfully I was able to.
Oh, baby! Good job, good job!
And this was my little partner for the race. So he ran 26 miles with me and was born December 26th. And then soon after that, I just went downhill so quickly and was just sick constantly and had to take medicine until he was born. Just so I don't forget, this is me sick. This is baby number 4. Daniel ran to get me food. Sandy is putting band-aids on my leg to help me feel better.
I put some band-aids on her.
Yes. They brought me a whole box of Play Kitchen food to help me feel better. I feel very blessed by my sweet family.
Some band-aids on you.
Thank you, honey. That helps, Mama. January 1st. He was due January 1st. So we were expecting a New Year's Day baby. But a couple weeks before he was born, I just started feeling like he's gonna come early. He's gonna come early. I don't know why I felt like that. My daughter Gabrielle's birthday is December 23rd. So I tried very hard to make that a special day for her and have it very separate from Christmas. But it is just such a busy time. So I was like, nope, he's coming January 3rd, January 6th, he's coming late. But he decided to come early. So Christmas, we had a wonderful day, opening up presents, playing outside with their new toys. And then that night, we were just rested. We thought we're gonna take all day tomorrow. We're going to pack our hospital bags. I knew Daniel was getting me a new toiletry bag. So I was waiting for that so I hadn't even packed a hospital bag yet. We thought, let's just take tomorrow to get prepared. We're gonna clean up all the Christmas stuff. I'm gonna even try to put away the tree and decorations and just have everything reset so we could just focus on having the baby next week. Even that night, as we were talking on the couch, he was rolling around in my tummy and we were still trying to figure out a name for him and asking him, okay, do you like this name? Do you like this name? And then if he kicked, we say, oh, that's it.
Jace, Wyatt, Trevor.
Ooh, he liked that one. Wow, I look big from every angle. Thanks for no comment there.
You know, there was no way to, you can't agree. I mean, I can't disagree.
Do you like Kenneth? Wow, you did like that one. Trevor. Okay, liked Trevor too. William, and we call you Liam. Whoa, oh my goodness, that's one. Mama might have been helping you in that one. Not at all ready for the baby. All right, let me see if I can nurse him and maybe he would settle down. All right, so Christmas night, we went to bed about 11, but I remember waking up around midnight and just feeling really crampy and then falling back to sleep and then waking up again and just having a very, very fitful night. And then around 3 a.m., I kind of woke myself up going, oh, and I was like, oh, I'm making the sound. This is it. These are contractions. And that's how I realized I was in labor. I just kept thinking, okay, the 26th is too close to Christmas. Maybe I can just wait. Maybe it'll stall. And the 27th even would be better. Well, they kept getting worse. And then around 5 a.m., I woke up Daniel. I was like, hey, I'm having contractions. You need to pack a bag. At that point, I was having some strong contractions. They were coming about every 5 minutes from the get-go, I would say. And then they started coming like every 2 to 3 minutes. Mine have always come that quickly and that close together. So I kept thinking, I'm sure I'm just a 3. With Everett, I've been stalled out and had to go back home. So I just kept thinking, it's probably not even the real deal yet. I texted my doctor around 5:50, giving you a heads up. At that point, I kind of started realizing this is it. And so then I told Daniel, call your mom quick. She needs to come. So she's about 30 minutes away. I was ready to go, but we had to wait for her to get here. So it happened pretty quickly. Going from the point of thinking, this isn't it, I've got hours worth to go, to being like, we've got to get to the hospital. I was able to throw some things in a bag, throw some things in the bag for him, and that was about it. I didn't dress. I was still wearing my new pajamas Daniel had gotten me for Christmas. I was not functioning well enough to even think about changing. I was like, going like this. Oh, I want to mention this too. When we were leaving to go to the hospital, first Zandy had woken up and she thought it was just the funnest thing to be up in the middle of the night. She didn't understand it, that Mama was actually in terrible pain. And then right before we left, I got Daniel to take a picture of me. It's my tradition to take one final picture, like going off to the hospital. I'm sure every mom does. And I always look so terrible. Why do some moms look so cute? Their makeup's done perfect. Their hair looks gorgeous. They look like they're just on their way to their next meeting, and I come sloughing in. I would be embarrassed, except that it's too painful to be embarrassed. And then my sweet Gabrielle ran and wrote me the sweetest little card. We brought it to the hospital, and it was just so sweet to me to have that. And something she thought of herself. Nobody prompted her to do that. It was just very, very sweet. We got to the hospital around 7:20. And as we were driving in, my contractions kind of stalled again. I was like, oh, are you serious? When we got there, my doctor was there. She was even there helping me get on my hospital gown. And I was like, just so you know, I feel like I might be stalling a little bit because I didn't want her to get all ready and like have all the nurses ready if they check me and I'm a 3 and I'm gonna have to go back home. But I think she must have known because that didn't faze her a bit. She was just like, okay, let's put your hospital gown on. So I had to go to the bathroom. As soon as I stood up, I had to throw up. So I guess I was transitioning at that point. Great. I throw up all 9 months plus in labor. And I usually, like if I throw up hard, I get all those little spots all over my face. It's awful because then you just look like you've got the plague. But thankfully I didn't throw up hard enough to make that happen. But they got me to the bed and checked me and I was an 8. I couldn't even believe it. I've never gotten that far along before the hospital and that quickly. I was really glad we came when we did. The nurse was like, you could do it natural. I think you should try natural. I was like, please give me an epidural. The contractions immediately started back. By the time I was lying in the bed, it was horrible. We were just kind of curled up on the side and just lay there. and Daniel would say like, do you want to change positions? Do you want to move? I couldn't even answer him. And the nurse, I heard her say like, she's good. A lot of moms like this position. I was just collapsed. And oh, it hurt so bad. Some people are like, yes, they're uncomfortable contractions, but I just breathe through. And I'm like, oh, it's horrible. Oh, and I don't know if I had a new nurse or something. I've never in my life had a problem with getting an IV, getting my blood drawn or anything. But this nurse had a hard time for some reason trying to stick me to get the IV, and she's like digging all around, and I'm like, ow, ow, it hurt, and she kept doing it. And there's another nurse, and finally she was like, can you try? So the nurse gave me one in my other arm and had no trouble getting it in, so that was fun. And then you have to try to sign all this stuff, but then you still have to wait, and I'm just like, please somebody get me an epidural. Hey, I'm back. Oh, it has been quite the day. Let's pick up where we left off. After I had the epidural, I was able to rest, and Daniel and I just hung out there for about an hour. And it was that time that we were trying to figure out his name. I don't know why we're so bad with names. When we had Gabrielle, we thought we were bad. We waited 2 weeks before she was born before we finally figured out her name. And that felt like there wasn't enough time. But with the others, we've been in the delivery room before we've actually been able to decide upon a name. And with him, we were still going back and forth about, do we like Wyatt? It just did not seem to click. We were settled on William as the middle name. Both Gabrielle and Everett have a double consonant in their first names, and then Alexandria has a double consonant as her middle name. Her middle name is Quinn. So I liked the idea of having a sibling that matched her. And more than that, William was named after William Wallace and William Barrett Travis. We were settled on that, but we just did not know about the first name. As I was lying there, just thinking about, we're about to have our little baby. This is the gift that I prayed for. I just said, Daniel, what about a name that means like gift or a blessing? So he started looking up names that meant gift. And he said, how about Theodore? And it's a name that we've tossed around throughout the pregnancy. But at this point, I was like, wait a minute, Theodore, it just fit. It fit the feel of all the other names, and it means gift of God, which is just perfect because not only was he a specific gift, you know, a little boy that I had prayed for, he was born the day after Christmas. So we looked at each other and we thought, Theodore, yeah. We both have kind of called him Theo. I've never heard him call him Teddy. I think Teddy's cute, just as he gets older. It's not a name that will grow with him. And then I don't want people to shorten it to Ted. Blah. Sorry if your name's Ted, or if you're married to a Ted, or if you have a son named a Ted. I'm sure he's a great person. I just don't like the name. Sorry. Soon after we had decided upon his name, my doctor came in to check me again, and I was a 10, but my water still had not broken. She asked if I wanted her to break my water. I try to do things as natural as possible with the exception of the epidural. So I was a little hesitant, but me being a 10 already, you know, there wasn't a lot of risk. She just said, it's just gonna make the baby come faster. At that point, I was fine with it. So she did break my water. And I want to say it was like probably 15 minutes later, I started kind of feeling a lot of pressure down there. And then I just kind of felt like, oh, I kind of need to push that. Within maybe 2 minutes, the door opened and like 5 women came in. My doctor, different nurses, turned into a party pretty fast. I could feel my legs more than normal. I could even move one of them. I was at an decline. And so then they helped hold my legs back and I pushed. It felt like a long time because it hurt. I just remember feeling just that pain. I even screamed a couple of times, which I've never done. And then I think they call it the ring of fire. I'm not sure what I was exactly feeling, but it was something painful. With my others, I don't know if I just had more medicine with the epidural. It just kind of felt uncomfortable, but then you just kind of slide the baby out. This one felt painful. I didn't know if the epidural was actually working that well. So I told Daniel, can I say I went 60% natural? Because I felt it and I recovered much quicker. The other ones, it would take hours before I could even kind of get out of bed and stuff. But this one, it was kind of done very quickly. Threw me out and gone. One of the anesthesiologists came in to check on me and asked how the epidural went for me and stuff. And I asked him about that and he didn't really give me a clear answer. He just said it could have been because I was so far along or I'd been on my side. I wasn't upset. It was just, I wasn't expecting to actually feel something. But we made it through. I pushed only a few times. I don't know, maybe 5 times. I don't remember now. I think I wrote it down. I'll have to check. Where's my journal? You learn to do lots of things with one hand when you're nursing a newborn. Let's see here. Oh, look at this. Christmas Eve night. I had actually been having contractions all night. Braxton Hicks. I had Braxton Hicks all night, but thankfully did not go into labor. Could have been some pre-labor. I just wrote, my epidural wasn't very strong because I could feel it. It hurt. I was pushing hard and the contractions were terrible. Then before his head came out, it hurt so much. I was actually screaming a few times, but suddenly he was here. So I didn't write how many times I pushed, but it was only a few times. Theo was born at 10:40 a.m., 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and 19 3/4 inches long. He was yelling when he came out. They immediately do skin to skin. I feel very fortunate to be in the era that we are. Our moms, my mom's generation, when they had babies, they, you know, the golden hour wasn't a thing. Delayed cord clamping wasn't a known thing. We were just kind of at the mercy of the hospital, and they would whisk the babies off and poke them, prick them, and wash them and do all that kind of stuff without giving them to the moms, which is so important for bonding and for the baby to feel safe and regulating hormones and milk production and just all that stuff. So I feel very thankful that I've never had to fight that. I've been able to have all that wonderful bonding time with each of my babies. Daniel's been able to cut the cord and contribute that way. With him, we didn't even get a bath until the next day. He didn't get a bath the next day. I didn't get a shower until the next day. We must have been stinking up a storm. We got a lot of good one-on-one time as nobody wanted to come in our room. That's not true. We had wonderful nurses. Anyway, I got to hold him for like an hour, and then they weighed him, and Daniel got to hold him, and then I got to have him back. He nursed pretty quickly and got to go to the other room. And I'm sure everybody's directed to say this as they wheel you by, but if you pass any other nurse or, you know, technician or anybody, they always say, congratulations on your baby. Thank you, thank you. My husband gets immediately antsy. Like, he cannot stand being cooped up in there, not knowing like what time of day it is, and just kind of sitting around, and he cannot stand being in the hospital. So he is dying to get out as soon as we change rooms. He's like, you think we can get out tonight? And I'm sitting there like, I need to recover. I'm exhausted. Like, I can't go home and start taking care of the other kids anyway. Give me one night. And no, they wouldn't let us anyway, because you have to do like 24-hour checks and stuff on him. And he had some low glucose, which was scary. Thankfully, he was nursing well, and they gave him a glucose tab, and that raised his levels back to normal. So he didn't have to stay in the hospital any longer or anything, and he was doing well. And then he passed all his other little tests. You know, hearing is good and all that. I'm very, very thankful. We just all love him so much. And all the other kids have been so excited about him, and they love holding him. Little Zandy it's very sweet because, you know, she's the youngest. This is the biggest transition for her. The others have already gone through having another sibling added. While I was pregnant, she would talk about wanting to read the baby stories. And so almost immediately after we got home and they were getting to hold the baby and stuff, she ran and got a book because she wanted to read him a story. So we are now a family of 6, and I just feel absolutely blessed. I feel so rich is the word I keep coming back to. I just look at my children and I feel so rich. There's not much more in the world I could ask for. And I'm just very, very thankful for them. And it's a hard time right now. And I hate feeling like I can't be everywhere at once. I can't be for them everything I want to be, but we're surviving. The first month's the hardest, second month's hard, third month's hard. It's always hard, but it gets easier and you settle into a rhythm. Everybody adjusts. Oh, it's so worth it. Okay, I'm gonna have to go because he's getting hungry. Thank you for joining me. I hope I see you again soon. Bye, everybody.